So why was 52nd so dramatic? Yes, the situation at Vagabond and with those boys, traumatic. There's more. Because, see, in that time period, that same 9 years old till 15, 16, something like that, that was also 47th Street. Okay. So 52nd was where I lived. It was my address. However, 47th was where, yet again, I got dropped off, and often. So you have this dynamic of the two events that I mentioned before, and you've got this ongoing trauma because now, well, let me say this. There is an understanding or a assumption of how drugs and drug addicts behave. Like they're all on the street or they're begging for money, or this kind of mentality that we put on people that did and does crack. It is a fallacy. It is what people see on TV, but it is not correct. More often than not, a lot of the people that are doing crack are going to work, or they are in a surrounding that is not unhoused, that is not impoverished. They're just sick because of what they're inflicting upon their bodies, but everything looks normal. So 47th was where that looks normal behavior happened. So in that little house that I mentioned on 52nd, there was no drug smoking going on over there. No. That was where I lived. Excuse the doggy. But 47th, on the other hand. So generally how it would go is we would go to 47th. My mama would go one way, I would go another. Oh, go over there to so-and-so house. Oh, okay. And all the kids are over there. So now you got to imagine if you've got a house that is basically self-governed by children that are somewhere between 9 and 18, things aren't going well. And the parents are down the street in another house. So that means you got kids coming and going. You've got all types of children thought up misbehavior. And I can tell you that what you don't want to be in that situation is the odd thing, is the fascinating thing. Because that makes you very attractive. It also makes you an easy punching bag. Oh, everybody's letting our boobs out. Everybody's letting them touch us here and there. Don't be a square. You already a nerd. It's cool. Your mama ain't here. What's the big problem? That shit. 47th was, again, fun, and I look back on it with some very, very pleasant emotions, but at the same time, it was a nightmare. I didn't necessarily want to be there, um, but I didn't have a choice. So I had to make the best of this situation. And there was everything. There was everything from fighting, unwanted sexual advances, to isolation because you're a weirdo, to walking the streets at night, going to the swap meet, or going to get soda, or whatever the case may be. Because there's no parents, so you do whatever you want to do, just don't get caught doing it. And some parts of it was all right. Some parts of it was great. I have family and friends from that time that I love more than I can imagine. That same boy, the older one, Mr. 10 years, he was always there. Along with my other friends and people I call family. But I was still a weird thing. I was still an odd thing. And I was still an alone thing. There's a lot of it I don't remember in detail. And as it pops in, I'll certainly share it. But 52nd and 42nd was a doozy.